mathematicians. Our I can statement for today is I can find the area of a trapezoid. Let's get started. Reminder, a trapezoid is a quadrilateral, so it has four sides, but it has exactly one pair of parallel sides. One pair of parallel sides. And when we're trying to find the area of a trapezoid, we're trying to find the number of square units needed to cover the inside of that figure. So what's going to be on the inside? Reminder, perimeter is distance around. So we're just trying to figure out how far around, kind of like a fence. How long is that? Area is the space inside. Trapezoids seem a little tricky. When you have to find the area of a trapezoid, you're going to use this formula down here. 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. And you're thinking, why on earth is that the formula? Or maybe you're not. But we're going to talk about why that's the formula. So when we talk about a trapezoid, base 1 and base 2 are going to be the parallel lines. And we usually have one base that's one length on a trapezoid, base 1, and one that's another length, base 2. And again, our height has to be perpendicular to our bases. But why is it 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height? Well, again, we don't want to just add up the squares inside or try to count squares or figure that out. So they've used this formula. Think about it this way. We can divide any kind of quadrilateral, including a trapezoid, into two triangles. So I'm going to move this height out of the way so we can see that better. Two triangles. They're not the same triangle, but they're two different triangles. And if we remember, the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, right? Well, if we use this base, and we do 1/2 base times height for a triangle, our base for this one is 10 feet. So area equals 1/2 10, and our height, we can plug right back in, that's the distance to the top, making a perpendicular line, is 8 feet. Perfect. So 1/2 10 times 8. All right, so area, half of 10 is 5 times 8. Area equals 40 feet squared, or square feet. So let me just write that in, 40 feet squared. Perfect. Okay, well what about this other triangle over here? Follow the same formula. Area, because it's another triangle, equals 1/2 base times height. Area equals 1/2, our base for this triangle is 5 feet, so 5, times our height. Is our height still 8 feet? If I move it over to here on the outside, and we could extend our line if we wanted to see the height, yes, this triangle is also 8 feet. Also 8 feet on the outside. So times 8. Okay, so 1/2 of 5 is 2.5, divide it in half, times 8. 8 times 2.5, let's just do it over here because it's faster. 8 times 5 is 40, 8 times 2 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Move the decimal over 1. So area equals 20 square feet. 20 feet squared. Okay, so let me move this out of the way and this out of the way, and we'll erase our little extension here. Okay. So if I added these two areas up, the two triangles, 40 plus 20, I would get 60 square feet. But that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. So what mathematicians figured out is how can we consolidate the 1/2 base times height and follow what we need for a trapezoid. And that's how they got 1/2 of base 1 plus base 2, because if we just add these up, we're combining them, and then times it by the height, because the height is the same for both triangles. And that's why this works. So we should, when we follow this formula, also get 60 square feet. Let's try it. Let me erase all this. Okay. Let's see if we can, oh, that's not going to go away. Okay, we'll put our height back in. We'll put 8 feet right back in here, and let's follow our formula for a trapezoid. So area equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2, because that's like the two triangles together, times the height, because they share the same height. So now we plug in our information. Area equals 1/2, base 1 is 10 feet, plus base 2 is 5 feet, times our height of 8 feet. Okay, do what's in parentheses first. So area equals, 1/2 times 15 times 8. Okay, now we have to remember our distributive property because these are in parentheses. 1/2 gets distributed to the 15. So what is half of 15? 7.5. Oops, I shouldn't have written that in there. Okay, so now we have 7.5 times 8. All right, area equals, let's take 7.5 times 8, and we get 60. Perfect. 60 feet squared, or 60 square feet. Okay, so this formula works because it's really combining 1/2 base times height, which is our triangle formula, and making it to realize that trapezoids make two triangles, 1, 2. And so it combines the formula for the area of a triangle so that we get the area of a trapezoid, remembering that the triangles both share the same height of 8 feet. And that works for every trapezoid. So let's find the area of this trapezoid. Again, we could divide it in half, and we'd get two triangles, and then we could do 1/2 base times height for both. And notice that one base is going to be the 14 feet, and one base is base 2, that's 6 feet. But we don't need to do that. We can use our trapezoid formula. So let's plug it in. Area equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2. Remember, you need to put the formula down first, even though it's a pain. Then plug in for the numbers. Area equals 1/2. Base 1 is 14. Base 2 is 6. It doesn't matter if you say base 1 is 6 and base 2 is 14. That's not a big deal. Times the height, which is 9 feet for us, times 9. Okay, consolidate what's in the parentheses first. 1/2, 14 plus 6 is 20, times 9. Next part, distributive property. Distribute the 1/2 to the 20. You don't distribute it to the 9. You distribute to what's in parentheses. Half of 20, or 20 divided by 2, is 10. So now we have 10 times 9 for our area. Fill it out. Area is 90 square feet for our trapezoid. Just remember, the trickiest part is you only distribute to what's in parentheses. You don't take half of the height. Last problem, find the unknown height of the trapezoid. This is where the algebra comes in. They give us the area, but they don't give us the height. So area equals 1/2 B1 plus B2 times the height. Now I'll plug in for what you know. We know the area is 216. The half stays there. Base 1 is 11, base 2 is 13, and we don't know the height, so that's h. Consolidate like terms where we can. So we have 216 equals 1/2. 11 plus 13 is 24 times the height. Keep consolidating because we still have more like terms. This 1/2 can be distributed to the 24. Half of 24 is the same as 24 divided by 2, and so it's 12 times h, the height. Now we can go back to doing what we were doing before, where we make our train tracks, and we get h by itself. Whatever we do to one side of the train tracks, we have to do to the other. 12 times h, we don't want the h times 12, we want h by itself. The opposite of multiplying by 12 is dividing by 12. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. So these cancel out, h is by itself, and 216 divided by 12, 216 divided by 12 gives us 18. So our height is 18 meters, not squared because it's just the height. Now we can plug it back into our formula right up here and make sure it works. So 216 should equal 1/2 11 plus 13 times 18. Again, consolidate. 216 equals 1/2 times 24 times 18. 216 equals, distribute the half to what's in parentheses, so that's 12 times 18, and 12 times 18 is 216. They equal the same. We figured out the correct answer. That is all I have for you for finding the area of a trapezoid. Thanks for watching. Fill out the Google form and let me know if you have any questions. Have a great night.